Hey, were you going to buy a new car? Have you heard about the massive disruption to the auto industry that was announced today? Stick with us. You're going to want to hear this. Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. Thanks for being part of the conversation. And, bring your comments. I want to hear from you. This is 21st Century Television, live and interactive, so we can interact. Now, if you're thinking about buying a new car, hold on to that thought. Here's the question I got for you. You've seen some of the new business models, one where you can order your car online. Would you do that? Some of these deliveries, some of those companies haven't done so well. They're starting to lay people off, but they've been experimenting. There's at least two companies that I know of. Not going to name them off the top of my head because I don't want to disparage them, because it's been kind of a rocky road, right? It's like some people are okay with doing it, some people not. Would you buy your car online? There was a big announcement today. Pick this up in Yahoo News, of all places. Amazon announced they're going to start selling cars next year. Would you buy a car from Amazon? And think about all the other stuff you probably buy from Amazon or have in the past, or know people that have. I mean, if you haven't bought from Amazon, I'm certain you know somebody that's bought at least a couple of items, at least one or two or 10 or 1,000. Would you buy a car from them, though? Would you use that as a car service? Amazon and Hyundai announced that they're going to be partnering to sell cars. It's the first manufacturer Amazon's going to work with. They are apparently in negotiations with more. Starting with Hyundai, they're going to make it possible to order online and then have the car delivered from one of the dealers, or you can pick it up at the dealer. But the whole transaction takes place through Amazon. Hyundai, in return for this, is going to use Amazon's AWS service, which is really their core business, right? If from a business standpoint, as a business owner, you've probably read about this because it's a great case study. The big profit stream for Amazon has really been from their cloud services business unit, and that's been their bread and butter. That is they needed that to run their own business, so they're going, hey, why don't we just build it bigger? We're getting good at this. We'll make it use it as a service to other companies. So Hyundai is going to use AWS as their preferred cloud service, and they're going to begin embedding Alexa and other Amazon services into their cars. Ready for that? So now you got Alexa talking with you as you're driving. Maybe a good thing, may not be a good thing. Depends on your perspective. I'm agnostic on that. It's not what I'm bringing it up to you for. It's just, this is a huge disruptor to have a company like Amazon say, hey, we're going to shift how people buy cars. Going to completely change the customer experience with buying cars, because let's face it, not really one of your favorite activities, is it? I mean, the horror stories that you hear of people and how the problems that they have at dealerships in the buying process, and to get information that you want. My wife and I pulled onto a car lot. We weren't there to check this out. We weren't there to buy a car. I was there to ask a question or schedule maintenance. There's something about maintenance with the car. And I remember this was a number of years ago. So we'll give it some space and say, well, maybe they've gotten a little more professional about this. We had a group of salesmen actually surround the car, couldn't get out of the car. My wife was totally not happy about that. Right. So they're just like, oh, hey, they're trying to open my door, had the doors locked, and we're in Los Angeles. So doors are always locked. And like, it was not a good start to the conversation that I had at the dealership that day. It was like going, what the heck? We just rolled onto the lot and parked, didn't park by the sales area. But there's just, you hear stories from people. You've probably had a few, should we say, suboptimal experiences at dealerships. I've had a couple. I've sold cars. I sold cars for Lexus. Freaking awesome vehicles, great company. Learned a lot and really appreciated the opportunity to do that, because there's a time when we needed the cash, and had a good experience. So some companies like that, and Lexus was started specifically to have a completely different customer experience from traditional selling. Now, I haven't bought a new Toyota vehicle or sold Toyota vehicles, so I can't speak to how they operate. What I did learn from being involved with the Lexus organization, it's a very different experience from what I had at other brands for as a buyer going on their lots. And you've heard it. And I hearing stories that some of the old school, we'll call them the old school car sales guys tell, bragging. I listened to a story that a guy was telling, and he's bragging about how they took this woman's keys, threw them up on the roof so she couldn't leave and then they told her, "Go, you're not leaving until you buy a car." Had a woman locked. Another story, same guy, right? Fortunately, he's not selling cars anymore, but same guy had a woman locked in the not locked, but you buy your car, you end up in the finance room, right? Goes into the finance room. This woman's in the finance room. They had already taken her keys, so she can't drive away. And the finance manager told her, "You're not leaving until you buy a car." Left. She assumed the door was locked, was in there for hours. They forgot about her because it was a busy day. And all of a sudden, SWAT team shows up on the lot. Now, this is the guy telling me the story, right? I didn't see this firsthand. What astounded me is he's bragging about this and he just thought it was hysterically funny. She called the police department and said she was being held hostage. SWAT shows up thinking that there's a hostage situation, and the salespeople and managers, they have, so customers are like, well, what the right? Probably not a good day for sales with the customers. So customers are freaking out. The salespeople have no idea what they're talking about. Managers, they don't know. Everybody's forgotten about this poor customer sitting in the finance room. So they find out what happened, get that resolved. And he just thought that was a great, funny story. I'm thinking, how did they stay in business? As a business owner, could you treat your customers like that and have them still do business with you? Not get sued, right? Or worse? I'm thinking, if that had been my wife sitting in the finance room and treated like that, I was like, wow, you know, be calling somebody, wouldn't you? If not, man up a little bit, okay? We look out for the women, not because they can't look out for themselves, but because they're worth it, is how we show we value them. Total conversation for another time. But so all of these experiences that people have, there's been many attempts to disrupt the sales process, provide a better customer experience with varying degrees of success. Some of the organizations, especially the luxury cars, different expectations. The luxury, when you're selling any kind of a luxury service, a luxury product, there's a different expectation, different interaction that goes on there. Still, it's never, it's never something that I really hear people talk about saying, "Oh, we just can't wait to go shopping for cars. Want to go hang out on the car lot and talk with the sales folks." And just not really, necessarily a type of. Have you ever had that conversation? Where you look to your significant other and go, "Hey, let's pack a picnic and just go hang out on a on a automobile lot today, and just soak in the goodness." Right now, perhaps something like this will be truly a game changer, where Amazon starts partnering with manufacturers to make it possible to just have the same point and click. I wonder if they do Prime free delivery with that. Hmm. Who knows? Amazon and Hyundai both said there will be more announced about that, what they're doing together. Amazon said there'll be more announcements about other brands that they're working with. More to come. But this is huge. This is a huge disruptor in potentially, right? It may flop. Don't know. Amazon experiments with a lot of stuff. We remember the stuff that works. We don't necessarily see things that didn't necessarily work out that well because they didn't become a broad thing. But this could potentially be a game changer for the automobile buying process and for you as a customer purchasing a new vehicle or a used vehicle from a dealer. But this is really targeting new vehicles for the first time. And one of the things that Amazon pointed out is that people are more and more buying vehicles online. So it's not like they're first in, right? It gives them an opportunity to look at what's worked, what hasn't, what do we do different in order to make this work. Plus, they got a little bit of process and cash behind them, right? To be able to experiment and take some hits financially and cover it from the cost, right? As an entrepreneur, it's one of the things you run into. Experiment, but you got to contain the experiments in the realities of your cash flow, so as not risk the business. Amazon can afford to do a whole lot of experimenting, So keep your eyes peeled. If you're thinking about buying a car, you may want to, unless it's a real need, you may want to put the brakes on that a little bit and wait and see how this plays out and see what's coming. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear. Would you buy a car through Amazon? Would you even consider it or stop to explore it through Amazon when that becomes available? Really curious where you stand on it. What are your thoughts? Speaking of upcoming things, it is that time of year where Black Friday sales are coming up. We have some really exciting stuff to announce around that. I've got a link in the comments, and the links it's included with this broadcast for our first offer, our first Black Friday, our first BFD. Right? Got to have a Black Friday deal to offer everybody. So it's the first of several that are going to be rolling out. Another one that we've got coming up, and if you be one of the first to start, because if you link in wherever you jump in the process that we're going to unroll over the next several days, you get to stay with that. We'll let you know, and you're tied in to every deal. We'll even maybe for early movers, we'll have some special deals we haven't announced yet. But one of the AI projects that we're involved with is rolling out, and as a business owner, this is something that is super exciting. That is also a radical shift in being able to increase. It's going to be a radical shift. Let me leave it at that. I've been involved with the beta test on it, and the company that's rolling it out is ready to run. I tell you, man, the beta test was amazing. It was just, oh my gosh. I'll have more for you on that. Stay tuned. But hit this link, check out the first offer, because it's something that'll help you really give you a framework for being able to increase and maintain profit margins in any market. And it's based on not theory, it's based on a case study. Is one that's most personally near and dear to my heart from successes that I've had throughout my career. And it's based on a company turnaround that I did, that I led. There were a lot of people involved with it. Didn't do it by myself. This is one of the things. Didn't do nothing by myself. Always had the honor of working with some great people. And and even more special than that, most of the time, it was a bunch of us, myself included. We're just average Joes and Janes that came together and did the classic sums greater than the whole, the whole's greater than the sum of the parts, where we just rose to the occasion and really, because we had good collaboration, good teamwork, came up with stuff never in a million years dreamed that we could have, and certainly wouldn't have individually. So that's the first step. Hope you're having an awesome day. Make it an awesome day. It's a decision, right? And check out what's going on with Amazon selling cars, especially if you're thinking about buying a car soon. And here's a question I want to leave you with. Look at how Amazon is taking a step to disrupt the auto industry, finding where are they, where can they do that? They can completely disrupt the entire global auto industry without ever making a car. How can you take that framework, right? Take that frame and apply it to your company and your industry, and look at where's that small hinge that opens a big door, right? Where's that? It's like the Jenga, where you're trying to not knock stuff down, but where is that one thing that you can grab, pull it out, and changes everything, right? It's like the thread pulling the right thread on a tapestry that doesn't unravel the tapestry, but completely changes the picture, because that thread comes out of the picture. The color comes out of the picture. Think about that. How can you apply that in your business, your industry, to lead a game-changing activity like that? Thanks for being part of the conversation. I'm Wolf. This is Wolf's Watch. Look forward to see you driving on the highway.